In Star Wars, we've always had something that's actually quite a phenomenon, and that, of course, is the Force. Probably one of the most captivating and cool powers in any movie that exists. The Force can literally do anything. You can read minds, you can see into the future, you can control objects, you can shoot lightning. You can use it in a light or dark side way, or both. And for a long time, a lot of us thought that the Force was literally the most powerful thing in Star Wars, but it's actually not. There's something else that rivals it, and that is magic. Night Sister magic, to be exact. Now, this magic is a unique force utilized by the Night Sisters, a group of Force-sensitive witches from the planet Dathomir. Magic and its workings are distinct from the more commonly known practices of the Jedi and the Sith, though there are similarities and overlaps. So let's talk about it a little bit. Just as the Force is a ubiquitous energy field created by all living things, Night Sister magic draws from the spiritual energy of Dathomir and its inhabitants. It's applied throughout chants, rituals, and potions, kind of like how you think magic would be used. The Night Sisters can use it for a variety of purposes, like healing, transformation, or summoning spirits, or resurrecting the dead. One of the notable applications was the transformation of Savage Opress, turning him into a powerful and obedient warrior. If you guys remember when Palpatine destroyed him and eliminated him in front of Maul, he was reduced back to this little weak, feeble figure. Now, unlike the invisible force used by Jedi and Sith, Night Sister magic often has a very visible representation, typically a green mist or energy, like we saw in Ahsoka with the green flame that was kind of activating the map. Now, to compare it to the Force and the Jedi, we can kind of make the distinction basically that both the Force and Night Sister magic are forms of energy that individuals tap into, granting them powers beyond those of ordinary beings. Both can be used for various purposes, from healing to offense. Now, the differences here are that the Jedi and Sith primarily use the Force by tapping into its light or dark side, respectively, and manifest their powers through discipline, meditation, and years of training. Their skills are often innate, improved through rigorous training, whereas Night Sisters, on the other hand, often rely on rituals, chants, and external components to harness and direct their magic. So, when comparing two of these phenomenons, we kind of have to look at the two most powerful people. We got Mother Talzin, who uses magic, and of course we have Palpatine. Now, if you haven't read the Dark Horse comic run, Son of Dathomir, I highly recommend it. I really hope they adapt this into some sort of a Clone Wars. Live action would be honestly amazing, but animated would also be equally as great. So Mother Talzin, the leader of the Night Sisters during the Clone Wars, was immensely powerful in her use of Night Sister magic. She was knowledgeable, cunning, experienced, and her magical abilities were formidable. The question of whether Talzin was more powerful than Palpatine is subjective and depends on the context. In direct combat using her magic against Palpatine's Sith abilities, it's kind of unclear who would have the upper hand, although we did see this in the comic. They had encounters, as of course seen in the Clone Wars series as well, and while Talzin could challenge Palpatine and his allies, it's quite evident that the Sith Lord viewed her as a significant threat. In fact, he was actually somewhat afraid of Mother Talzin, at least in my opinion. You remember what she did with Dooku by putting that curse on him and giving him the acne and the boils? It's like he was in high school again. However, in terms of galactic influence, Palpatine clearly had the upper hand. Of course, no thanks to him being a politician and playing both sides, but the Force does play a hand in this. He manipulated the entirety of the Galactic Republic into granting him unprecedented power, eventually transforming it into the Galactic Empire. Talzin's influence was more localized to Dathomir and those she could directly manipulate or control. In conclusion, Night Sister magic is a unique facet of the Star Wars universe, representing an alternative to the conventional understanding of the Force. While Mother Talzin was a formidable force, the direct comparison of power levels in Star Wars, especially between characters from different traditions, is often subjective and open to interpretation and debate, which I hope you guys will do in the comments now. Do you think magic was more powerful than the Force? Think about this one. Palpatine had to use magic in order to get his tendrils into the world between worlds because the Force couldn't get him there. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Leave a like on it if you did, and I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, remember the Force will be with you always.